Sorry, the kitchen has rather poor lighting. Deal with it. Today I'm going to be showing you my recipe for vegan peanut noodles. So I'm going to be using these Explore. I have the black bean spaghetti and the edamame and mung bean fettuccine. And they are all made out of beans. So you can see each serving is 2 fat, 21 grams of carbs, and 22 protein, which is really awesome. Pretty similar on the black bean one. 2 grams of fat, 23 grams of carbs, and 25 grams of protein. And then I just make my own really easy, non-authentic peanut sauce. Sorry for those of you with a peanut allergy. I love peanut butter. But these are kind of all in one, and I just have the peanut sauce, and then I put veggies in there, and super healthy, super easy meal, pretty cheap. I will break down the math per serving after we make our recipe. Ingredients you will definitely need. You need your bean pasta. The Explorer is the highest protein one I've found. Trader Joe's makes their own black bean rotini that's a little bit cheaper. Less protein, a little carbier. We're all down with carbs at Pancakes and PlayStation, so not even worried. I just happen to like this brand because it has the highest protein. There's a couple other brands of it I saw at Whole Foods, but I didn't really check it because it was more expensive. These are about $4.50 per box. You can get them at Whole Foods, and I've also found them on Amazon, although the price on Amazon has gone up a lot. But you can get them, it's kind of like really expensive to get them singly, but you can get 6 packs and they're not too much more. It makes it like $5 a piece. I don't know why Amazon's suddenly more expensive than Whole Foods. That's just ludicrous. But yes, you will need your bean noodles. You will need some form of peanut butter. I really like this one from Trader Joe's. It's got flax and chia seeds in it, and it is crunchy. Really good. You'll need soy sauce or teriyaki sauce. Doesn't matter what kind. Sriracha. You will also need either canned coconut milk or cashew milk. Need to go back to the store and get one of those because obviously I forgot it. Canned coconut milk tastes a lot better. It makes the sauce a lot creamier, but I can never go through a whole can of coconut milk before it goes bad. And it's just really annoying to freeze it and try to thaw it out. So cashew milk is also really creamy and delicious. It's good in your coffee too, good in your cereal. If you want to be an overachiever, you can get some ginger and garlic, dice them finely, saute them, and mix them into the sauce. It's really good. And you will need vegetables. I personally am going to use this frozen kale, cauliflower, and carrots. Your mileage may vary. You may use any kind of vegetables you would like. You are an autonomous human and I respect your decisions. So let's get started. At this point in your life, I really hope you know how to boil water. You will grab a pot, wait for the water to boil, then you will add in your noodles. I think I'm going to mix them all together because I'm lazy and that seems like more fun. There are 4 servings in each of these boxes for a total of 8 servings, but I'm going to stretch it out and make it into 10 meals. It'll still be pretty high protein, especially with the peanut butter in there. I always like to stretch a dollar a little further, you know. And while we're waiting on that to boil, we can go ahead and start chopping up our carrots. I'm going to roast them, so I have the oven on broil. It's a sheet pan, which I will cover in foil, because you can roast all your veggies on the foil, and then when you take the foil off, the pan's still clean. Why didn't you think of that, you dingus? Super helpful tips for lazy cookers. Cookists. Cooks. actually really sad how not sharp my knives are. Isn't that just freaking precious? Just a rainbow of carrots. Now that our water's boiling, we can go ahead and put our pastas into the boiling water and cook as directed. There's directions on the box. Why don't you read them? Don't just guess. This is what the actual noodles look like. This is the edamame ones. Rule number 9, always carry a knife. This is what the back bean ones look like. They're like little crazy spider noodles. They're very goth. Speaking of those directions, here they are right here. Alright, so this witch's brew is just about done. So we're gonna flip off that burner. Strain this. There are dishes in the sink. My house is not 100% clean. I have a super cool IKEA pot that's also a strainer. 10 of 10 would recommend. So here's our super cool, weird looking noodles. This actually matches my wardrobe. Best all around spice, Tony Chachere's. So I'm gonna sprinkle these carrots. And then we can put our little roughly hewn veggies in the oven. Roast them up. And while you're waiting for those veggies to roast, treat yourself. Have a little LaCroix. It's vegan, it's sparkly, it's water. Look at how cute those are. And now we have taken a magical time machine to 3:39 a.m. the next day. So here's where we're at. I went ahead and also broiled the cauliflower. Frozen stuff's already pretty soft. I just like to get a little color on it. And now it's time to make this. Oh, sorry, there's a bunch of other crap on the counter. All right, our first step is gonna be the peanut butter. I like to use about a tablespoon per serving of the meal. Since I'm making 10 meals, that'll be 10 tablespoons. You can adjust accordingly, and also you can just make a giant stash of this and have it sitting in your fridge. I'm not actually sure how long it lasts because I only just put it directly on my meals, but you know, experiment, let me know. I also like to let it sit out to get room temp because then it's a little creamier and easier to mix. Next we got our soy sauce. I use teriyaki sauce sometimes as well. It really doesn't matter. Teriyaki makes a little better texture, but this is what I have. 3 tablespoons is enough. Next is the sriracha. I don't really measure this so much. I just put a lot in there because I like spicy. Bam! And mix it a little before adding your cashew or coconut milk. As you'll see, it kind of freezes up a little bit. So that's why we add our other liquid. So if you're using coconut milk, I would just do a few tablespoons for consistency purposes, but with the cashew milk, you can add a bit more. Feel free to slosh all over the counter, I guess. You don't want it to be too runny, but you know, nice and creamy, so you can drizzle it on your meals. Alright, my final step is going to be to add this kale to the veggie mix. I'm going to leave it frozen since I'm not eating my meals right away. Bam! Alright, now that we have all of our components, it's time to start weighing them out. Now what I do is I weigh everything out separately and put it into each individual container, so then I just have a Tupperware to go. You can also feel free to just mix everything together and leave it in the refrigerator and take however much you want. Really depends on the way that you eat, your diet, if you weigh and track macros, if you don't, you can just eyeball everything. Totally cool. So if you're weighing stuff, always weigh your pot first. That way when you put it back on the scale, You can go ahead and subtract that weight. Super easy. Alright, so this concoction weighs 2,148 grams and the actual pot weighs 992 grams. The actual noodles being 1,156 grams. Divided by 10, that's going to be about 115.6 grams per container. The math is pretty simple. Feel free to also keep a database of the weights of all of your containers. It'll make everything easier. I should actually do that. And then we just weigh it all out. Well, isn't that cute? And now for the sauce. Oh, look at that magic. And then before refrigerating, give it a nice little shake. And that's what it looks like. Oh, it's beautiful. And if you don't have a bunch of matching Tupperware, I got mine on Amazon for about 15 bucks for 10 of them. Or you can take these little bowls from Chinese restaurants when you order out. Life hacks. I always write down my measurements as I'm going, and that way it's really easy to go ahead and put them in my phone. I use my Fitness Pal. If you don't weigh and track macros, you can skip this section. So you go to more, meals, recipes, and foods, and you can add. Then you go ahead and type in all of those amounts and match the ingredients. And then once you have all your ingredients properly matched and in the right amounts. Cool, so the macros for this, per serving, 276 calories, 8.8 fat, 25.6 carbs, and 25.7 protein. Not bad. Also, don't forget your micros. This one's got a lot of vitamin A, some vitamin C, lots of calcium, and a crap ton of iron, which is awesome, especially if you're a vegan. I did that once. Also, pro tip, I recommend the frozen vegetable, especially for someone who is maybe new to cooking and stuff. You can buy them, they're cheaper, and they won't go bad. So if you're someone that's notorious for buying produce and then you never want to buy produce again because you open your refrigerator and there's liquefied produce in the crisper drawer, go frozen. Also, they're frozen a lot sooner after they're picked and don't have time to sit around on the shelf, so they retain a higher nutrient profile. The more you know. Alright, now it's time to do a little meal prep math. I used $1.25 worth of carrots, $1.99 worth of cauliflower, $1.14 worth of frozen kale, $1.02 worth of the flax and chia seed peanut butter, 23 cents worth of soy sauce, 2 cents worth of sriracha, 20 cents worth of cashew milk, and 2 packages of $4.45 bean pasta, for a total of $14.75 for all 10 of my meals, and that comes out to $1.48 per meal. That's impressive, folks. I was able to divide this into 10 full meals because I'm small and I also eat every 2 to 3 hours. If you are a bigger person in need of more calories or you eat less often, you may make 5 to 8 meals out of this, but even if you only make 5, it'll come in at just under $3 a meal. Still very impressive. If you liked this video and you want to see more like it, make sure you leave me a comment below. Remember to subscribe, hit the like button. Thank you, my little beefcakes. I'll see you next week.